You want a drink or no? I didn't get like a clear answer.
Alright, so what am I looking at and
Hills.
where? I
I'll
assume
take
that.
the bony off him.
So what do you like to
Yeah.
drink?
Anything in the tavern, honestly, I've had it all.
No.
Oh,
Fuck.
I'll be back.
What?
Mm,
What?
no.
What?
No.
Oh, what? What?
Go home.
What did I... What's going on?
Okay. Why? What is the reasoning?
They're mana drained.
I'm not mana
Well, that's
drained.
not good
We
for
don't
you.
even know what's going on.
You
I have
seem
plenty
really
of
for people
mana.
to
She is better
get
than
back.
she was an hour and a half ago.
Yes.
Fine.
Another veg, you're
and
not
plus
going to
I have a
explain it till they're
surplus
all
still.
here.
It's just
Makes
a
sense.
Weird. I just feel my tummy hurts. My head hurts. That's kind of it. I'm happy to help. What's going on? If someone
Okay.
needs help, I want to help.
I don't know. That's the problem. I think
Don't
that
do it,
he's
Rick.
cursed.
Oh, over
I
here?
don't know.
Hello? Oh, hello? What's happening?
So as best I know, I don't know how much energy he has left. He says he's tied to that coffin, and he needs to fix
well,
it.
that's not good.
Tied to it, and it needs to be
Okay.
fixed. What?
He seems to be... That's like a
Fixed how?
curse.
Removed? Untied?
So, long story, can't really go into it without taking up the rest of the night, but this right here, the coffin, yes, but the bits and pieces on the inside, as well as that big old gem on the front, it's magical artifacts, give or take. And it's
Right.
kind of sort of the thing that's
Okay,
Does it need to be
explain.
charged?
sort of the thing that's keeping me alive.
What? So you needed the connection to be strengthened, not removed. It's not a curse. It's something keeping
To
you
be
alive.
honest with you, I'm not sure. The problem is that I make this thing, the tech and the magic that was used to make it, that's all lost and who knows where in the dregs of history. And the person that got me tied into this whole mess, they didn't like me too much, to put it lightly. I made sure to make it as difficult as
Alright.
possible for this to be dealt with.
So what I
Well,
need
honestly,
from-
what I'm sitting here saying is I need to gather as many people here as I can, and honestly, I just see if anyone has any ways or ideas of doing something before it's too late, because, in all honesty, I'm not looking to leave Leafside if I don't have to.
Right. So
Well, a temporary option is that we can charge it, right, Trio? Keep it satisfied with whatever it is it needs.
I mean, if that is the issue and it's running out of charge, yes. But if the connection is dying, and if it's severing is what's the problem? What I need to know right now is, do you need this thing connected to you or removed? Do you know?
Couldn't tell you 100% for sure, but I feel like if there was some way of, I don't know, like you said, separating it entirely from this old thing, I
Glad you're
mean,
here.
I feel like that would still
I guess he works.
Still
I don't
be
know.
able to.
It's-
What concerned me is you
Rose.
said it's currently keeping you alive.
Lucky you.
In what sense?
this
It appears that trio has a
this is something I can
No.
this is something I
It's
can
really there,
elaborate on
folks.
some other time, but
Sounds old.
yes, that's the problem.
It is one of my specialties.
I'm a lot older.
1,000
than-
years old.
well,
Maybe not.
more than 1,000. Definitely more than
So,
1,000.
Mr. Rune
That's the
Master?
problem is.
Well, all runes have roots, and I'm suspecting that
A lot of the runes on that thing is a majority roots.
Right.
Otto?
So
We're
How long
listening.
would it
Let's
take
talk.
you
If
to
it
dig?
has any ancient runic language on it, I
What?
should be able to read it. See what it is. Maybe.
But for now, if you need some mana, is that what's making you tired?
It feels like
Let's
it.
carry that for a bit.
To be honest, I heard from somebody, I think it was Mars, was thinking of or some way to just make a replacement. Some sort of device that basically just tricks the switch, fits the bill, whatever you want to say.
You said there's something
I don't know.
inside.
We either need
yes?
to.
Miro, how old
Yeah.
are you?
This thing used to be in Yorn.
How old are you?
It's a coffin in a shape, but in all honesty, it's a little bit of a magicalism. What is it? Anathema.
We have a magical
Them and
knowledge problem.
that lot.
And you're dragging all your
It's sort of a similar deal. It's a space outside of space, all to itself.
So
Because
it's
of that, I
like-
didn't feel time. I didn't age or anything. I look like I am, and in all honesty, it feels like the universe is real angry for me for getting away with it for so long. And now it's catching up. Now that the
Okay.
magic's fading.
Zen.
I don't know what that means for me.
My assumption, Zen, is I'm going to see if I can strengthen your connection to it and charge it back up, but I don't know if given what you say it is, I don't think any of us would have enough to even come close to its charge level that it might need.
We can at
Worried
least
about that, though.
attempt.
Anyway,
Something magic
Are,
crystals.
are these labels here actually here, like with writing?
This is in basically an old form of common. It's a mixture of an epitaph of sorts.
Okay. Are there any runics on it at all? Like ancient runics?
What, you got hurt again?
From what you can tell, it seems as if some of the bits and pieces, some of the language actually seems to be stylized as some runes hidden throughout the epitaph.
My major strength is I can understand, I can read, write, and understand all ancient runic languages. So, would I be able to pinpoint what those runes are and what they are specifically doing? And
The runes here seem to preserve the body of the coffin to a certain degree. It seems as if, by your estimation, and just by general common
just
knowledge,
looking
not
up,
even being much of a
Looking at
like an expert in metals specifically or anything, this coffin with the wear and tear and stuff, it's still perfectly polished. It's still nice and clean. It doesn't seem to have attracted dust. All things considered, you could probably run this over or have a full weight dragon stomp on this coffin and probably survive. Just the problem with it is that doesn't seem to be the same for the crystal, and you seem to be getting some emanations that there's some intricate workings on the inside that are not working how they're supposed to, and don't seem to be preserved by those runes.
Moonlight gets in my
an
front.
old man.
is it safe to look
Old
inside
man
of
is
it?
dying, possibly.
Oh my god, not another.
Yeah, just make sure the lid doesn't close on you.
Of course.
Next is probably Gwen.
Good night now.
You're the one
Stay
somebody you're almost
close if
dying
you
in your
need
sleep.
more mana charge just to feel not
Oh
weak.
no, he's not anymore.
Well, based on what I'm reading on the
Appreciate it.
external
Totally keep
runes,
focused.
honestly,
I wouldn't say so.
fucking,
but
I'm sure
I'm not in danger
that
anymore.
Gollum guy could step
Well,
on
I'm
this
glad to
thing
hear
and
that.
nothing would
That's
happen
one less
to it.
problem.
I'm going to that.
My guess is the internals are what's fucked.
Oh, that bottle is smothered by a hand. Wow.
Looking inside is
not
a
lost their life.
fathomless black, spotted with
It's already
weird
empty.
red tendrils of energy that seem
Like I
to
said, it's
waft
not
and
gonna last
emanate
her
from
long.
outside of it like
Oh,
a
you're so
sinister
smart.
mist.
Academic
It
ass.
feels empty, vacuous, and almost as if you're
No. Yes.
almost
Why are you so
like you should
frustrated
go
today?
inside of it.
Ay,
It's
no, but I said it
Just a weird, chilling little
Yeah, so I'm
feeling.
curious.
It's not strong enough of a
That's why I'm
manipulation to
curious.
actually make you do it. It's just this
It's there.
utterly strange thing.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to standing on the edge of a large cliff and you're just taken aback by the vastness.
Doing all right?
She'll reach into her pocket,
Be better if you didn't steal my
put on the
fucking
mind
barrel of
resistance
booze.
rune. No, not taking any
Come on,
chances.
you told me not to get you in trouble.
I don't
It's not
No, I
your
didn't.
barrel.
think I'll be looking in anymore.
did.
I'll just
That
be sitting
Esmeralda
here.
was wrong. That was my booze.
Right.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, unfortunately, that Esmer is also my
so
friend.
besides the all the blackness and tendrils, do I see any runes written on any of the sides or any
You are
sort
both
of
the same as
wall
We're the
or
same person. We're the same
bottom of the lid?
Yes, you are both the same individual. There's no difference between the
Are you
two
gonna
of
ask
you.
me
On the
out too?
bottom of the
What's
lid, there does not
You
seem to.
compliment me. You say I'm pretty.
Hmm.
You say we're friends.
Well,
Come
time
on,
to
you
do
wanna-
this
you wanna go
the
meet up
fancy
tomorrow at the
way.
beach or something? Is that what you're gonna say next?
I mean, we could do that tonight.
If it works. She's going to use one of her spells,
Hi, Otto.
sending a shadow into
Doing
anything
great.
she can touch or within 5 feet
Thanks.
that she can see,
What is
feel,
Ruby?
and hear through. And she's going to send them out, attempting to look for the coffin's inner
No.
mechanisms
Okay,
and
that's what that
see if
was.
she can see where the runes are and what's wrong.
What happened to Ruby?
Excellent.
What happened?
You
Uh,
didn't
doing
do that,
so,
right?
there is plenty
No,
of
they
space
didn't
for your
do it.
shadowy form to explore, quote unquote. It seems that the empty vastness of the inside of the coffin is almost an extraplanetary space, just like Wolfric was describing. A lot larger on the inside than it seems to be from the outside. It swirls around and continues to eventually fly its way through what seems to be a vast, inky blackness until eventually small dregs of light can be seen further inside.
There you go.
Just by the guesstimations of the amount of time, it seems as if this could very easily be as if you've just descended down at least 10 stories, almost like a castle tower's worth of distance down into this thing.
Oh,
It seems as if at the bottom you find what seems to be a small stony structure, a sort of pseudo-room bathed in only one singular spotlight from up above. Seems to be small bits of furniture made clearly out of stone, a sort of chair, maybe more like a throne-shaped chair from what you can see. Strange statuettes that seem to not be of figures, but instead of strange tendrils and animals and other things and strange abstract shapes. And what seems to be a nebulous void of strange moving shapes that seem to peek their way out of the darkness from
Yeah, I don't
different
think the
various
problem is
areas
I don't think he's dying
before
today.
disappearing back into the inky blackness. Seems to be
No, I
an
don't
ancient
know. I want to
language.
say no, not yet.
Not runes,
But
but
Abel's keeping him
strangely
conscious.
ones that despite never seeing before you seem
Looks like you're
to
gonna have to get the
vaguely
council
understand. Each of these
nerds
symbols
together
seems to
to
almost
figure out what to
imprint
do
their
with this.
meaning into your very mind as they see
Crafters and
you and you see
magical
them.
folk.
On top of that, now I have
Seems to
to
be-
mentally deal with the fact that Phoenix did another fucking stupid oopsie.
Hard to
attack
interpret the
somebody.
meanings of
Granted, it
them,
was
but
under the
I don't know
guise
if
of a
sensations,
duel,
it seems
but
I
oppressive.
still.
wouldn't say, guys, if
Almost
they
as
both
if
agree to it, then it is a duel on
Centuries
both
trying
parties
to look
to resolve a problem.
and leer at
There's no issue
anything
with that.
alive inside of this room.
What
Well,
else
there's
would
an
you rather
issue
than
with the
Even
fact
your
that Ruby
shadowy
has
form
already
seems to be
been a duel and has already
strangely
pushed herself.
noticed
That is her fault.
by
Potentially
these
not being able
things,
to see out of
for lack of a better
Defined it.
term,
Hmm.
exposed.
People make their choices.
It seems as if, whilst not
The fact that
runes
we're allowing
directly,
people like Phoenix like this to keep attacking people
a
and
deep, intrinsic magic, ancient and old,
Insane
seems to
to me.
be making up a vast amount of the inside of this.
Would you share the same response if it was me putting him on the floor?
Looking at
Yes.
the
You could maybe talk it out. I don't think
the
everything
symbols
needs to be
that
dealt with
elude
fucking
this
swords.
strange non-runic
Still.
magic,
No, not everything.
would she,
Some ways that's the only way
in
to
her
get
understanding of them, be
closure,
able to
but
see
that's from the
ways
life I
of
lived.
at least, maybe not fixing them entirely,
Whether
but
it's more mutual
making them more
understanding or
stable and
malicious-
maintain
malicious
how
intent,
they're
I guess, like
functioning,
Otto had.
rather than
But
how
they
they
can
currently
vary.
are in their poor state.
Listen,
I'm not
I wouldn't
saying
know.
that I'm
But
angry
yes,
for Ruby.
You start to basically
I
poke
think
and
it's
pry around,
ridiculous that we're allowing, that we're
for
just
lack of a better
allowing
term.
it in
As you do
general.
so, you start to
Both of them are
see the
fucked.
intricacies of their
Felix
magical
just came out of the
signatures and
woods he
the
had to be escorted
more
to the
details
hospital
about
when
these
he was
things,
not
and
here today.
Just to confuse and boggle you,
Everybody
as
has their
not exactly what
choices.
you expected in terms
You
of
have to take it
these
up with your
pseudo
Choices are
runes,
going to
not in
end
a-
up with
for
the
lack of a
pig.
better term. And it seems like you have a
That's
little
up
bit
to
of an
them.
epiphany.
You can't baby them and keep them from
These
acting
symbols
out.
actually aren't contributing to
The more we
holding
try
Wolfric
to
I
teach
here.
chastise,
do
I
some
can
more.
These
chastise
seem to be
anybody for having a repeat offense.
not exactly
and
supposed to be
immediately jumping
here.
to violence for
Almost
all of their
anomalous.
conflicts.
If they were, then you'd be able to tell the connections
That's
for
fair.
sure.
Phoenix
These
never
seem to be
fucking
free
talked to
floating,
somebody.
strangely almost like
Earlier, I had to talk
weird
about it, stupid
sentries
shit,
floating
but,
amidst the veil freely.
At least with the
It's definitely
seems like one of those
disconcerting and does not sit right with
brigands are
you.
coming back. Whatever the
These aren't
voice
supposed
is,
to be
you're gonna have
here.
to keep them out of town or in the basement.
How many are there?
Watching as they float into view and then disappear into the darkness, you can see
It's very tedious.
at the very least, with your perceptive eyes, 24 different distinct symbols.
I'm going to go.
Hmm.
I'm
Go
going
rest.
to. Unfortunately, I'm not resting. I need to make.
She's
funeral
gonna bring the
arrangements.
shadow back
Is it for
to
Fabian?
herself.
Yes, for Fabian's funeral.
Do you need any help procuring garden materials?
Well, I
fabric?
think I figured it out.
Alright, enjoy your night.
There's strange pseudo runes floating around in the space. I get this. I don't know why, but I understand them when I look at them. But they're not connected to you in any sort of way, and almost as if they're sentries that aren't supposed to be there. If you are able to remove them yourself, it seems there's only 24 of them. I say only, but that's a lot. My guess is if you remove these, it might reduce the drain on the artifact, and also help you in general. That's what I could find, but I don't know if that's it.
I see your blue orb arc here.
Being inside of that thing is foggy. I wasn't all there throughout the years, and at least from what I can remember, I don't remember seeing anything like what you're describing.
Huh.
Must be part of it.
Well, while I'm in there as as a shadow, sending in my shadow or otherwise, I'm not physically able to interact with anything, so the most I could do is see it. There are 24 coming in and out of the darkness. Almost to what felt like almost 10 stories down. From how long it took, at least. That's what it feels like.
And then what? Just blackness?
No, there was a solitary room. It seemed just a stone room with what looked like some kind of throne chair on one side. It's hard to describe, but that's the key features of it, at least.
And that's all you saw.
I think so. There wasn't really much else.
Not really matching up, though. Why is it covered in darkness?
Maybe
Something that should have been there that wasn't.
Maybe it's due to my affinities.
Gods, it's been so long. Yeah, no. It didn't look like that. It was a whole place. I remember that at least. Not supposed to be just black. That doesn't seem right either.
Then maybe it's these symbols.
You guys would know better than me. Who here knows a lot about anathema or the beings from there? Do you know any of them? and we'd be able
I
to
mean,
There's
poke their brains for information, and they might know about the inside of this thing better than I do.
Luna is the only one that can really communicate things from before that I can tell.
I think I remember them saying they were 200 or something. So I don't know if they know anything about this. But it doesn't hurt to
Yes.
ask.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Honestly, it seems like you might just be foggy due to how often you use it. It might just require new people to go in and deal with the problem for you. Especially if that's what I saw. It didn't seem right in the slightest. There was tendril-like figures just in random shapes and sizes. Some were like just animals. Red tendrils just took shapes, basically. And the pseudo-runes, I've been calling them, it's basically just things that mimic how runes work, but aren't. I looked at them, I knew they weren't runes, because I know most runic languages, but I still understood it. Like, it wasn't me reading it, it just came to me. And then I just kind of knew it wasn't supposed to be there.
Man, that sounds... I actually might have something to lead on that. And that sounds like something.
Yeah.
I don't know where that stuff will be. I might have a way to find information about that, but like basically everything that I've been looking throughout the years is probably going to be tough to find because it's buried under centuries. Time passing.
Well, hopefully you have time, but if we can't do much more today, I'd recommend we all try to get sleep. Deal with it tomorrow. And I'm sure Luna will be awake then as well.
But we're gonna have to keep you here. We're gonna put you downstairs in the clinic.
I'm gonna be honest, there's a part of me that's just sitting here and like I might as well just sit slumped against this coffin so that way first thing when everyone is awake again we reconvene, but that's gonna kill my back, and honestly I don't really feel like feeling any worse than I do right now, so
So a decision, yeah?
Right.
I don't think your millennial bones
appreciate
take doing that.
I appreciate all of you being here. I know we haven't talked a lot, but to be honest, Leafside's probably the only place I could think of that would be willing and probably able to help me if there was a way to help.
Still gotta figure that one out. a little
Runaways.
bit. But we'll definitely figure it
all in
out.
this together.
Yeah, we do.
Since we all get along eventually.
Everyone I've talked to so far over the past few days. Can I get a hand? Sorry.
I can try. I'm a little small. I'll let them do it.
I'm always interested in, well, anything runic. Even if it's not runic.
I don't know how much pride you got in it, but here, just grab my back. I'll take you down to the clinic before anybody else starts fighting in the clinic. It's up to you.
Sure. Okay. My pride days are over at this point.
Hopefully we can figure it out tomorrow.
I
I'll
think it's
probably
time
be
to go
around
to
more
sleep.
at night, though. Just letting you know.
Is that your last name, Wolford?
All right.
I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah, but I think I'm ready for
It's
sleep.
been a long day.
Yeah.
It is quite late.
It has.
Um,
Perhaps it's time to retire.
it might be a good idea to recharge that tomorrow
You doing okay?
when we're not all low on mana.
Hey, you want a peppermint?
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
There you go.
Must have been it. Or maybe he's just stupid. Must have been
Banged on my door. Woke me up.
Yeah,
For a
it's,
fair reason.
Yeah.
I need to eat something. Oh, wake up early.
Today's been a day.
It has. Alright. I'm sleeping in my shadow. It's more comfortable.
Yeah, a quick question for you. When it comes to someone that's been enslaved, how's the best to help them?
Depends how long.
Like how? Just we don't know that how long.
I don't like the idea, but I am aware of it and how it works from Zul. A shorter time period, they can adjust pretty quickly. Years and years and years of obedience gets drilled into you. The best you could do is not try to change them, but give them orders that make them free. But
Yes, but
that's only capable of the person who they see as their master. Yes, it's wrong. It's going to feel wrong. But if you have a slave you want to be free and they are obedient to the point that it's been beaten into them, all you can do is give them the order and subsequent orders that never contradict of letting them do things that is essentially being free, such as a standing order to not need my approval. That's the simplest one. I'm surprised Ruby hasn't given that order yet. It confuses me. It's the simplest thing to think of. Standing order. You don't need my approval. Done. I'm surprised she's even following anyone else. But I assume it's been ordered.
I mean, I can try and suggest it tomorrow. I know it's not
Just
really my
to put it
wheelhouse
in the simplest terms, the reason she's probably following anyone right now, other than Ruby, is because she's been told to.
No.
It'll work out. It's years of obedience training. Takes time. A lot of time. The best you could do is give orders, like I said, to make them act free. You can't give them an order of think for yourself. You need to give them an order of you don't need my approval. You can't tell them do what you want. You need to tell them do what you don't need my approval to do anything. It's a very vague standing order, but it usually gets the job done. The one thing they will never do, though, is run. They will always follow. They will never be alone. They will always have someone there that's ordering them around. It's been beaten into them to do so. Most of the slaves I knew from Zul, criminals. People who were put there because they did something bad. The worse the charge, the longer the sentence. But, eventually, some would be freed, others would be beaten into obedience due to their crime. They don't get death penalties, they get permanent slavery. Because most people in Zul are artisans and craftsmen. Just because they've done something illegal doesn't mean we can't still use their skills.
I don't know. I'm just struggling. I know it's fucked up, but it's just. I think it's just because it's
It's
enough
fucked.
Keflia and
It is bad.
it's seeing what.
But there's nothing to do about it. It already happened. I'm sure they've been like that for years.
I guess that's just why I want to help a little bit. Like,
Then should suggest standing orders to Ruby. She seems to not do that. I know it's a bad. I understand why they might not want to, but they did buy her.
yeah, I know.
They should understand what that means.
Yeah.
They have a person that follows their order to a T. They need to understand that. Whether they want to do it or not, they have to give orders.
No, I mean, I understand what you're saying. It makes sense to me, but
I don't like it either. But that's why I in that situation just I decided or I thought the best decision was let them leave. We didn't need this conflict. It's pointless. Just makes things worse.
it's caused another duel in town as well, which is
Another one.
Phoenix and Ruby.
Well, yeah.
No, again, I understand why you'd be upset.
I'm sure Phoenix. I wish it was as easy as freeing her, removing the shackle. It's not. I'm sure Phoenix knows that now as well as anyone else now. And I'm sure Ruby does too. They don't want a slave. They want to free her. It's obvious.
They both want the same thing. That's the.
But the problem is Ruby
The methods.
owns her. Phoenix sees that, I assume, and nothing else.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Vincent didn't get on her case, but he seems more level-headed. At least. Enough.
There's stuff to sort tomorrow. Then there's going to be some more problems to sort. And the town doesn't stop.
When will it? I have to research a spirit banishment circle that's stronger than the one the spirit person made. With her, mind you, but still. It's gonna be a fun day. tomorrow.
It's gonna be.
Just get some sleep. I'm probably going to sleep in, hopefully.
Yeah, sleep good.
Good night.
Good night. Ow, fuck. Me.
I don't know who I forgot to tell this, but oh, never mind. He's fucking gone.
Oh.
I told you, right, that